Hello everybody. It is Thursday night. Welcome to another edition of Inspirational Thursday. My name is Liz and I'm here on behalf of Class Act there to play around with some Simon Hurley stuff and hopefully give you some inspiration. If you have some of this in your stash at home, why not play around? So ideally, my goal is to make 3 different cards, and I'm going to be playing around with the stamping foam, which you see here, and lunar paste was my goal. And then I went down a rabbit hole and I just kind of pulled out all my Simon Hurley stuff and ended up with this. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. But before we start, we'll give everybody another minute just to kind of slowly filter in. But yeah, pretty excited to be doing this tonight. I don't know about you guys, but I really enjoy Simon Hurley stuff. I think it's nice, bright, vibrant, cheery colors. And it's kind of fun because it's not only stamping, but you get some pastes and different things to kind of play around with, like the stamping foam. And I don't know, it's more hands-on, I guess, in my opinion. So I'm excited to kind of play around with it. I hope everybody's having a great week so far. As I sip on my water. And it's almost Friday. If you're not having a good week, hang in there. It gets better. So yeah, without any further ado, let's just hop right into things. Hey, Shirley. Thanks for joining. So, let's see. This is a stamp set that I happen to have. By Simon Hurley. This one is called Friendship Florals. And as you can see, I pulled off a couple pieces. I was playing around earlier today, so like I said, the goal is to do 3 kind of funky cards. We'll see how it goes. I'm using the following ink colors. So I have Shooting Star, Overzealous, Prom Queen, Clear Skies, and Triple Berry. And I am hoping to add more to my stash. Now, one cool thing about the Simon Hurley inks is they coordinate with the lunar paste. So here I have Prom Queen ink, and then I have Prom Queen Lunar Paste, which is kind of fun and exciting. What else do I have? I have my black archival ink here. Looks like this. I have my little Tim Holtz Pouncer, my cutter bees, my little spatula, an acrylic block, my stamping platform, and then this cool stencil that I found. This is also a Simon Hurley stencil. Unfortunately, it's discontinued, but I mean, you guys can work with different stencils that you have at home, so don't be discouraged. I just thought this one was kind of funky. So, first things first, I'm just gonna clear up my space a little bit. Move all these stamp pieces out of the way. Like I said, I played earlier and didn't clear all my stuff off, so go me. Hey Kim, hey Laura, thanks for joining everybody. I'm very excited to play around tonight. Richard is watching Conrad, so it's a good excuse to get some crafting done. All right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a card base. I did this using just the regular Nina cardstock, but instead of folding my cardstock, as I like to do sort of hot dog style and then cut it in half, I folded it hamburger style and then cut it in half. So I end up with a sort of top opening card for this one. I did this for all 3 because I just think it's fun. I don't know, you can make normal cards too. The next thing I have is just a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card panel that we're going to be decorating. And that's all we need for our first card. So I'm going to blend a nice background using the Prom Queen ink and my little blendy tool. Hey Joanne, how are you? Thanks for joining. We have a good turnout tonight. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Very happy to be crafting with you guys. Oh, I accidentally damaged this one. It's stuck to one of my adhesives, so I'm going to flip it over and start again on this side. Because that would drive me, and some of you at home, I'm sure, bananas looking at that. So I'm just doing my best to blend sort of a nice soft pink background. Doesn't have to be perfect because I'm actually going to go over it with my stencil and some lunar paste in a minute to make a really funky sort of poppy background. Awesome. I'm glad to hear you're doing well, Joanne. And everyone. Like I said, if you're having a hard week, the weekend's coming up, so stay strong. I'm excited for this weekend because we are taking Conrad to see his first Oshawa Generals game. I think tomorrow night. And then Richard's sister is up in town, and we are going to go to Great Wolf Lodge with the kids on the weekend as well. So I am very excited for this upcoming weekend. I think once Conrad finds out what's going to transpire, he's going to be really excited too. All right, so here's my pink background. It is by no means perfect, but it'll do the trick for the sake of tonight's project. I'm just going to set that off to the side. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my handy dandy stencil here. Let's see. All right. It's better that way. And then I don't know about you guys, but if you haven't seen this, this is my super cool craft mat. I invested in one over the Christmas holidays. And this is made by LDRS, and as you can see, it's a glass mat, but it's magnetic. So I have a magnetic ruler here, which I'm gonna move, and then I have these like magnetic thingamajiggers, which I can like stick things down with. So I'm just gonna hold my stencil in place using these magnets, and I'm gonna go straight on top with my Prom Queen Lunar Paste, and I'm gonna use a generous scoop. Because whatever I don't end up using, I can always throw back in the bottle. I'm just going to kind of scrape it across here and start swiping down. Okay. Hoping for the best. Like I said, some areas may need more, some may need less. We'll figure it out. Oh no. Wipe off my magnet here. So far, so good. This is such a pretty color. I don't know about you guys, but I'm very into like reds and pinks. And with Valentine's coming up, I feel like this Prom Queen combination of a blended background and a nice stencil with the lunar paste could be some really cute backgrounds for Valentine's season cards. Just saying. I might have to do that next. All right. Speaking of cute Valentine cards, did you guys happen to see Bella released a couple little take and make cards today? She did one with a polar bear for Valentine's. It's adorable. Okay, so by no means perfect, but good enough. For our sakes, and I'm just gonna swipe the extra back into my bottle. Oh my goodness. Hello, Lori. Thank you for joining. Linda, nice to see you. Gosh, guys, I really appreciate all of you showing up for tonight. Okay, so there we go. We have a super cool background. Now, when I move my stencil off of it, we're gonna get a really funky effect. Just trying to find a safe place to put this palette knife for the time being, and my stencil, and I'll go back and wash it fairly shortly. Look at that, you guys. Isn't that magical? And so when it dries, it's just gonna have that super cool lunar paste effect. And this is why I love Simon Hurley, because his stuff is so simple, but it's really, really effective. So there's my Prom Queen background. Okay. And I'm setting my background off to the side to dry as well. Just because I only have so much desk space to work with. And then I'm just gonna, because this is a glass mat, just wipe everything off really quickly with a baby wipe before it dries on there. Excellent. Whoop. The amazing jumping baby wipes. Cool. Good as new. And then I'm just gonna wipe off my little magnet piece as well. Okay, so that was the first step of this particular card. Up next, I want to create kind of a fun background using this stamp set here. I forget what it's called already. Friendship Florals. So it's cute. What I'm going to need for that is another little panel, which I'm just going to cut really quickly out of Nina. So I think I'm going to keep the same dimensions, so 5.5 by 4.25. But then I'll probably be cutting this down, so be forewarned. Next thing I'm going to need is some flowers. So I think I'm going to start off with this beautiful little flower shape here. So it's going to be the solid flower on the stamp set. Linda says, look at that mat. I know, it's wonderful. So I'm going to ink up this first flower using the triple berry, which is sort of this nice purpley color. And I have to say, I really like his stamps because they're clear, so they're easy to work with. But they also clean off really nicely with just a simple baby wipe, which, you know, I'm a huge fan of. And so I stamp it on with my acrylic block. And look at that. It's gorgeous already. I think I'm going to do 2 of these because I like the way the first one turned out. But essentially, I'm just willy-nilly going to be stamping my flowers and seeing what happens. So maybe I'll do the other one over here. Cute. Okie dokie. Then I think I'm going to use this flower, which is going to be this flower here on the stamp set. Sort of like, I don't even know what kind of flowers these are. They look tropical to me. So this one, where are my inks? I think I'm going to use Shooting Star for this one, which is this pretty yellow color. There, do it on camera. It's pretty. It's pretty. I feel like maybe I'm going to go in with a little bit of pink too. Some Prom Queen. I'm just going to sort of swipe that one wherever. And we're going to hope for the best. Cool. What are my favorite inks to use? Good question. I really like Tim Holtz. I really like the oxides as well as his mini inks. Those are like my ultimate sort of go-tos. But recently I've been playing around with Pink Fresh. I really like those. They have some nice colors. And then, I don't know. I like archival inks. I've always been a bit of a fan of them. I like all of them. It's a good question. Maybe I'll stamp this one here. But see, it just kind of gives like a nice sort of tropical vibe. All right. And then, see, we've done this guy. We've done this guy. Maybe we'll use this little flower to just kind of fill things in. And I'm going to stamp this one in pink. Maybe do a couple little pink flowers. So you could totally do this using your stamp platforms as well. But I'm going to do a yellow one too, as I grabbed this pad by accident. But yeah, just kind of stamp wherever your heart takes you. That's pretty. I like the yellow for that. And I feel like our flowers are missing leaves. Because this stamp set has cute little leaves, we're going to add some of those as well. So, for this flower here, maybe I'll just like this so I don't cut off that flower too much. Oh, Durr. It would help if I line things up properly. Okay, cool. So, ink this one up using the Overzealous, which is this beautiful green color. And depending on what this looks like, I might go back and add some yellow. I'll do this bottom flower first. Oh, that's nice. I like it just green. I wasn't sure. Okay, so let's do it again. Cool, cool, cool. All right. There's that. Then I have some of these cute little leaves that I think I'm gonna sneak in. Sneak this guy over here. What are we thinking? Maybe that? Oh, I did it again, you guys. My brain's not functioning at 100% tonight. Those long days. That's okay. It's not like I have a bunch of people watching me or anything. Okay. Where did this one? I think I had it over here. Cool. Try that again. So I'm just going to ink these with the green. I don't know for this one, because I'm doing it on a purple flower. Maybe I'm just going to add a little smidge of purple on here too. Just give it that like weird tropical plant vibe. Okay. Before I push it down, just gonna kind of roughly line things up. Beautiful. And now I feel like I'm still missing something, so I'm gonna go back in with this little flower here. Maybe add a couple more of these. Do another one in yellow over here. Maybe I'll do this one in pink and yellow. Over here. I don't know. Over here. There we go. All right, quit while I'm ahead. They are really pretty flowers. So next thing I'm gonna do for this card is just grab my scissors and I'm just gonna fussy cut around these flowers. Doesn't have to be perfect. Love my Cutter Bee scissors. Hopefully I'm on camera. Oh, awesome. I see thumbs up. Thanks, guys. Okay. There we go. So now when I go to assemble everything, just gonna have this cute little card front, and then I'm just gonna need a sentiment to put on the top. So let's see. I think I'm gonna choose the sentiment. This one is cute. It says, "You're literally my favorite." So I'm going to use my stamping platform for this because I like a good crisp wording. And so I just want to make sure this like stamps out really nicely. So, let's see. Maybe I'll just put this here. Shuffle stuff off to the side. It's so hard doing things on video because you don't have a lot of room. But hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. So I'm literally just inking up my stamp using the archival ink. And before it dries, I'm just gonna wipe off this extra. I got my little white thing too, because of course I did. Is it really crafting if you're not getting messy? I don't think so. Some of you might be more talented than me. There we go. Oh, that didn't work out at all. Let's try this one again. This is why I'm using my platform for this. Because I want to make sure I get a nice sentiment for our card. Okay. Well, it would help if I had this flat. All right. Well, it's not perfect. I might go back and try this one again after. But for the sake of moving things along, it's good enough. So next I'm just going to roughly cut this out as well. And then I'll post my finished cards after the video, where I will probably restamp this. But it's just going to go at the top of our card. There we go. You are literally my favorite. Put my scraps here. So yeah, I'll show you guys. This is one that I messed around with earlier, but you get the idea. So again, I have to cut this one and stick everything down, but it's kind of cute. Kind of tropical vibes, which Bella said is opposite day, so I'm feeling the non-winter feelings. All right, so I think we're gonna move on to create our next card. And for this one, I wanted to play around with my stamping foam block. So that's what we're gonna do. Now I have the super cool stamping foam block that actually has a circle that pops out. So if you've never used one of these before, they're very fun. All you have to do is heat up one side using your heat gun, and then you press it into something to get a really cool, funky impression. So for the sake of this one, of course, my stencil is covered in paste right now, but for the sake of this one, I'm gonna pretend that we heated it up and I stamped it on top of my stencil. And so we end up with this really cool sort of background. And so what we're gonna do with this is just ink it up really quickly using the, I think Clear Skies is a nice blue color. So I'm just gonna do this by simply swiping some color onto my stamp foam like this. So far so good. Maybe I'll dab it in some spots because I want to make this really nice. And next thing I'm going to do is grab a card panel like so. Flip this over and attempt to just stamp. Oh, I moved it already. That's okay. hope for the best, everybody. If this didn't work, I will try it again. It kind of shifted. I still like it, but I'm tempted to try again. I'm a perfectionist. Okay, so let's just try that again. We're gonna re-ink it. Maybe I'm gonna put magnet right here in the center so that doesn't happen again. And swipe, swipe, swipe. All right, looks good. And I'm just gonna move this here so I kind of roughly know where it is. Cool. Have a feeling this one's gonna turn out a little better, but you don't know until you take it off. The suspense. All right, that's way better. So now we have created this really funky background, nice and easy. You could just put a 3D topper or something in the center of that and call it a day. But I'm just gonna wipe off my foam. Now, once you've done a background and you don't want to use it anymore, you clean off your foam as best as you can, and then you just heat it back up with your heat gun and it will sort of morph back into its original shape. So this is really cool. You can do endless backgrounds with these. Now that we kind of done this one, I'm just gonna show you guys really quickly. So hopefully you can see on camera all these like little bubble indents. I'm gonna mute my camera and pull out my heat gun, and we're gonna morph it back into shape. Am I? I don't know. Oh, there it is. Okay, bear with me, guys. We're going mute. 1, 2, 3. And we're back. So as you can hopefully tell, when I add the heat, it starts to like morph back into itself. This isn't perfect, but I just wanted to show you guys. It's really cool and it's really easy. So, yay. Okay, up next, this little baby I think also needs a sentiment. So I'm going to work with the Life is Better with a Friend Like You sentiment. So I'm just gonna pop this background here in my platform because I can never get things right the first time. I don't know if you guys have that problem. All right. So I'm just gonna ink this up using my black archival ink, or any black ink would do. I just like the archival. And I'm just gonna wipe the extra before it dries on really weird. Perfect. Here's to hoping this one shows up nicely. Oh, that's pretty good. Let's try again. It's not perfect. I like crisp. It's good though. It's good. That's nice. Okay, Looking cute so far, but we're not done yet. Next, I think we're gonna need some sort of flower for this card. So, I'm gonna open up my package. Let's see. I think we'll use this flower shape. Yes, very pretty. Okay, so again, I'm just gonna stamp this out using black. Hey, Sandra. All right. And gonna hope for the best. That's not bad. We'll do it again. Very good. So here's what we ended up with, this cute little flower. And then the thing I like about this stamp set is it actually has solids too. So instead of me going in and fussy coloring, I'm just going to use the solid pieces that we used on the first card all over again. For this step, I'm just going to use my acrylic block here. And we're going to start with this lovely flower. Hey, Patricia. So I'm going to do yellow, and I kind of like the combination of the yellow and pink on the first flower. So let's see if we can do that again, or that idea. Wipe off some extra, and then do my best to line it up. Ooh, that's pretty. Then I think this little flower, where does he go? Who do you belong to? No? No? Maybe? Oh, okay, I think it belongs to this flower. So I'm gonna do this guy in the purple again. This is the triple berry color. So pretty. Close enough. I kind of like the look when it doesn't exactly line up. And triple berry again for the other flower. There we go. Cute. Let's see, we need the sort of sprigs here. Start with this one. Find my green ink. Ink this guy up in green, or Overzealous. I like this green. It's a nice, pretty, bright green. I'm very picky with my greens, but I like this one. There we go. Do the same thing for the other side. Wonderful. And last but not least, we need this leafy trio here. So I love this because I'm not spending a whole lot of time coloring these, but it looks really pretty. Boom. And just like that, we have created this beautiful little flower. Now, for the sake of saving time, we're going to use one that I've already fussy cut. And essentially, all we're going to do for this card is just pop it down at the bottom. And voila, we have this adorable little friendship card. I love it. Nice way to cheer someone up or just write an appreciation note. Okay. Guys, we're doing excellent. We've done 2 cards already. So for our last card, I again wanted to play with stamping foam. But this time I'm going to use the little circle piece that punches out. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to show you guys how to do it. I'm going to leave the sound on when I heat this up this time because I noticed I lost a few people. I don't know if maybe people just left the group because it was quiet, but I'm going to leave it on. So all I have to do is heat this up, and then I need to find a cool texture to stamp this on. So I looked around the room really quickly, and I found Richard's hat. So I'm just going to use Richard's hat, and I'm going to pick up this really fun sort of knitted texture. So here goes nothing. So I'm just warming up my stamp foam. And you can almost see it like when it starts to get to that nice melty point where it's going to take on a shape. There we go. Okay, and then I'm just going to flip it over, stamp it into Richard's winter hat, and then it picks up that really cool knitted texture. So we're going to use that for our next background. So I'm going to take a card panel, and for this one, I'm going to swipe it with some yellow. And then I'm going to go in with some pink. And then down here at the bottom, maybe do some purple. Now you'll notice it's not looking absolutely perfect, and that's okay because we're actually going to use a little mister, and I'm just going to spritz it. So I'm going to spritz it off camera because I don't want to ruin my desk and get it all wet. So just a light spritz is all you need just to activate the pigment in the ink pad. But look at that, already it's like way brighter, very cool. And then I'm just gonna put it sort of center-ish on our card. And then you end up with this really fun, I don't know if you can see, but like knitted background. I love it. And then, like I said, to clean it off, you just use your baby wipes. If you want to use it again with a different texture, I have a sewing basket in here I was kind of eyeballing. You just take your heat gun and you heat it up and it goes back to its original form. So I'm going to be doing that immediately after the video, just so it doesn't like stay that way. I don't know if it will, but I don't want to take chances. Okay, next I think this card is going to need a sentiment. So I'm thinking something along the lines of, hey bestie. These are really cute friendship-y stamps. So again, I'm just going to take my platform. Now the cool thing I've noticed about his stamps is they actually sort of bend. So if I start my sentiment like this, and then I can kind of curve it, which I think is cool. You guys might already know this. You might have done it at home with other stamps, but it was my first time trying it, and it kind of works. So I'm just going to use the hey bestie with a bit of a curve on it. And I need something to stamp on. How about this? Wait. paper right here. Perfect. So I'm just gonna ink this up. Cute. So then when I cut it out, I'll do my best to follow the curve. And then I feel like we also need another flower. So with this one stamp set, you get quite a few different options, but I'm gonna use this flower here. I'm gonna take the outline from it. Let's just do this in the corner. Oop, take this off. Oh, Linda says the image that I made on the stamp foam will stay until I heat it again, but it's not going to hurt it. So I don't, thank you, Linda. I don't have to like panic if I don't heat it up immediately after. That's good to know, because the panicker in me was like, oh no, as soon as we finish, I gotta heat it back up before I lose it. Okay. It's not perfect, so I'm gonna try this one again. There we go. That's nice. Okay, good enough. I'm gonna cover the center, I think, with Lunar Paste, so for the purposes of this step, we're good. Now for this one, I'm thinking of seeing if his ink's actually watercolor. So I'm thinking of green for the leaves. I'm just gonna grab my watercolor brush, pick up a little bit of green, and just very lightly color the leaves. And you guys will see why in a couple minutes, but I just wanted to give it that faint hint of color, if you will. Cute, cute, cute. Okay. Next, I'm thinking a yellow flower, because I like the yellow. So again, just using a watercolor brush here, picking up a little bit of ink and going in fairly lightly. Just gonna color this. So far, so good. Okay, and then probably go in with pink for the center of the flower. There we go. Now I'm just gonna use my heating tool really quickly. Gonna make it dry. And oh, speaking of making things dry, I didn't wash my stencil immediately after, my fault, but we're gonna use our stencil again. So I'm just gonna put it right on top here, stick it down like that, and then I have these cute little like detail pouncer thingamajiggers from Ranger, and I'm just going to use them to color on top of our colors with the holes. So I'm going to use my yellow, and any of the areas that are yellow on the flower, I'm just going to kind of enhance a little bit. You'll see what I mean when I take this stencil off. But I'm just kind of pouncing with this little detail blending tool. And again, I just really like his inks. Like, they are so bright and fun. I think they might be one of my top 3s as well. Top 3s. I like them all. There we go. My yellows. I think I'm going to do it with my green as well. So any areas that are green, just going to try my best to enhance. There we go. That's cute. And so now when I take it off, I actually have this super fun polka dotty effect happening. But I'm not quite done there because I want a bit of shimmer too. So I'm just going to take my finger and I'm just going to grab a little bit of Lunar Paste in the Prom Queen. And I'm just going to dab it into the center of my flower. So this way, when it dries, I'm going to get a bit of that shimmer, which I absolutely love. Next thing, I'm going to fussy cut my sentiment and my flower. And I'm going to, for time's sake, pretend that that was the same one. Adhere them to my card base. Maybe like this. Maybe I'll edge it a little bit. But there you go. We have done it, you guys. We have successfully created 3 different cards using stamping foam and lunar paste and different techniques. So thank you for staying with me and enjoying tonight's video, hopefully. I definitely had fun playing with my Simon Hurley projects. And I hope you guys did too. So if you have any of this at home, I hope you feel inspired enough to take it out and play with it, and just kind of learn as you go, because that's definitely key. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week. Have a great weekend, and I will see you guys next week. Okay, bye.